Hare Krishna, everyone. Chaitanya Prabhuji is actually busy today, so I will be delivering today's lecture. I will be doing my best to deliver a great lecture just as good as he does. Just kidding, I'm just going to try. And and please forgive me for any inaccuracies or any mistakes I make during today's lecture. I'm sure when he will be back next week, he will be more than happy to clear any sort of doubts or any questions you guys have that I'm not able to answer. So I did put it in the chat, a link to the online version of the Bhagavad-gītā. The shlok that we'll be reading today is chapter 2, shlok 13, and also it's page 81 of the physical book. So we will begin with some prayers. If anybody knows them, please feel free to recite with me. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Stam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakha Navitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhaye Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatrubhischa Kripa Sindhu Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you for joining, everyone. For those who have just joined, His Grace Chaitanya Prabhuji will not be joining us today. It will be me who will be delivering today's lecture. I will do my best. Please forgive me for any mistakes or inaccuracies I may be presenting today. If there are any, I'm sure he will be happy to answer anyone's questions next week that I'm not able to answer, and also clear any sort of doubts that I may create. I don't know if I will, but we'll see. Okay, thank you. So today's shlok it is Dehino asmin yatha dehe kamaram yovanam jara tatha dehantara pratir dhiras tatra namuyati. And what this shlok reads is Dehina means of the embodied, asmin in this, yatha as, dehe in the body, Kaumaram boyhood, Yovanam youth, Jara old age, Tatha similarly, Dehantara of transference of the body, Prati achievement, Dhira the sober, Tatra thereupon, na, never, huyati is deluded. And in full translation, as provided by His Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami is as the Swami Prabhupada, this translation it is, as the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. And the purport, we'll read the purport, and then I will go into the little points that are presented in the purport. So, we have, since every living entity is an individual soul, each is changing his body every moment, manifesting sometimes as a child, sometimes as a youth, and sometimes as an old man. Yet the same spirit soul is there and does not undergo any change. So this is actually very similar to one of the topics that were covered during our first day of our Shravanam Kirtanam camp, if you were part of it. Do you identify as a human, or do you identify as the soul? So basically, this is one of the main shlokas in the Bhagavad-gītā that point out that if you identify as a soul, you know that your body will change from going from a baby to a toddler to going to a youthful age, and then throughout your youth, then you end up in old age. So similarly, it's like your soul changes bodies, it's like changing clothes as you grow older. And that's why the last sentence of this translation, the translation of this shlok says, a sober person, or a person who knows that they are the soul and not the body, they're not bothered by such a change. They're not bothered that their body will change, that you will get wrinkles, or you will you might not be able to, or your body will go under such changes where, for example, you might not be able to walk as strongly as you do today, for example. So those are just some examples. So this individual spirit soul is there and does not undergo any change. This individual soul finally changes the body at death and transmigrates to another body, and since it is sure to have another body in the next birth, either material or spiritual, there was no cause for lamentation by Arjuna on account of death, neither for Bhishma nor for Drona, for whom he was so much concerned, because during this battle he was very perplexed by the fact that he's going to be attacking his family members, and because that was impacting him, Bhagwanji here, he explains that there's not a reason to be able to feel bad or to regret that that Arjuna will be making such attacks towards his family members. So in this way, he should not feel any sort of regret, because any sort of material or spiritual impact that you have or that you cause to have in this birth, then you're able to move on and sort of not feel bad about what you are up to, because you know that this is what their karam has also enveloped you to have in this birth. So what Bhagwanji says is rather he should rejoice for their changing bodies from old to new ones, thereby rejuvenating their energy. because once they choose to change bodies, they don't choose to, because they end up dying, then at the time of death you get a new body. He said that because they rejuvenate their energy at that point, because they get to have a new chance at life. So such bodies from old to new, such changes of body account for varieties of enjoyment or suffering according to one's work in life. So Bhishma and Drona, being noble souls, were surely going to have spiritual bodies in the next life, or at least life in heavenly bodies for superior enjoyment of material existence. So in either case there was no cause of lamentation. Any man who has perfect knowledge of the constitution of the individual soul, the supersoul, and nature, both material and spiritual, is called a dhira, or a most sober man. Such a man is never deluded by the change of bodies. And at this point, it's our process in Krishna consciousness to become a dhira, which is a most sober man. Meaning, we know that we are not the body, that we are the soul. That is the whole point of Krishna consciousness. Because when we engage in devotional life, we must go at it with intensity and sincerity, and that is how you end up becoming more, you relate more with your soul than you do with how what you're going through as a human in, or as a soul in a human body. So because of that devotional path that we set ourselves on, we rise above the platform of the body, and we are less affected by material changes. Some examples of who Adhir is in our scriptures, or from our scriptures, is Dhruv Maharaj or even Prahlad Maharaj, because they end up going through so much throughout their life, and because they were situated on a transcendental platform, meaning they had a actual relationship with Bhagwan-ji, and they knew that whatever they were going through was because of whatever they were going through was happening to their body. It was not happening to their soul. So because they had that full faith and that full connection with Bhagwan-ji, they were able to understand that that life is more than what's going to happen up until death. So that is what their steady faith had led them to having transcendental lives throughout their lives, and even after death. So the Mayavadi theory of oneness of the spirit soul cannot be entertained, on the ground that the spirit soul cannot be cut into pieces as a fragmental portion, because we are part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, and because of that we're already a part of Him. But it doesn't mean that we can that we can be split up into further fragments. We are who we are as a soul in this body. We cannot be cut up any further. Such cutting into different individual souls would make the Supreme cleavable or changeable, against the principle of the Supreme Souls being unchangeable. As confirmed in the Gita, the fragmental portions of the Supreme exist eternally, Sanatana, and are called Shara. That is, they have a tendency to fall down into material nature. That is us. These fragmental portions are eternally so, and even after liberation, the individual soul remains the same, fragmental. But once liberated, he lives an entire life in bliss and knowledge with the Supreme, with the personality of Godhead. The theory of reflection can be applied to the Supersoul, who is present in each and every individual body and is known as the Paramatma. He is different from the individual individual living entity. As I said, part and parcel. We are not the Supreme Lord, but we are a part of Him. It's like God or Krishna or the Paramatma, who is Krishna, the Supreme Lord. He is like the flame, and we are like the little sparks that come out of an active flame. So that's basically what is being explained here. And when the sky is reflected in water, the reflections represent both the sun and the moon and the stars also. The stars can be compared to the living entities and the sun or the moon to the Supreme Lord. The individual fragmental spirit soul is represented by Arjuna, and the Supreme Soul is the personality of Godhead Sri Krishna. They are not on the same level, as it will be apparent in the beginning of the 4th chapter. If Arjuna is on the same level with Krishna, and Krishna is not superior to Arjuna, then their relationship of instructor and instructed becomes meaningless. If both of them are diluted by the illusory energy, Maya, then there is no need of one being the instructor and the other one being the instructed. Such instruction would be useless, because in the clutches of Maya, no one can be an authoritative instructor. Under the circumstances, it is admitted that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Lord, superior in position to the living entity Arjuna, who is a forgetful soul deluded by Maya. So because I'm going to read that again. We are Shara, and what Shara means, that we have a tendency to fall down into material nature, which means that we have a tendency to be fully impacted by Maya. Because of that, we are completely different than the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. That's what's being explained here by Prabhupada. So there is a clear difference between who is a Jeev and God. And a Jeev, because we can fall down, we can be impacted by lust, by greed, by even envy and all the other sins. We cannot become God. God is way above us. He cannot be even touched by Maya. Actually, Maya is impacted by him. So the Supreme is unchangeable, and we are eternally his fragmented parts in our conditioned state, and in our liberated states also. Which means that if it was possible for us to become God, then why are we conditioned by Maya? Why are we impacted, and why do we not have the choice to not be impacted? So is Maya greater than God, or is God greater than Maya? Anyone want to answer that question? Yes, Rishabdev Prabhuji. Sorry, I cannot hear you. I think your speaker from last time isn't working. Or your microphone. No, Prabhuji, we cannot hear you. Okay. We will wait. Thank you, Sri Jita Mataji. You are right. God is greater than Maya. Actually, in one of the books, I think it's called the science of, sorry, I have it ready. The science of self-realization. In that book, it is described that just by one look of Bhagavad-gītā at Sri Krishna, when Sri Krishna looks at Maya, he can, like, he impacts her and in just like one go. It's just like the effect of Maya is like it's you can't even measure it, honestly. It's quick. the way that Prabhupada explains it in that book. Rishabh Dev Das Prabhuji, you were going to say something? You will type. Okay, got it. Then I will wait. I mean, I will go on, and then we will read your message later. Okay. So, the Mayavadi conception of the souls being completely one with the Supreme Lord, it's actually not true at all, because the Mayavadis, they are people, they're philosophers who believe that we are going to merge into the Brahmajyoti when we get liberated. But that's not the truth at all. We are completely different from the Supreme Lord, and will always be, because of this. Because we're so significantly impacted by Maya, and the Supreme Lord is not. He's way above that. So souls are one in quality with the Lord, not in quantity. Therefore, we have to become sober. We have to understand that we are the soul, we are not the body, and then we have come here to reap the karma that we have collected over the years, whether it be good karma or bad karma. And we need to go back. We need to be calling out to Krishna. That's why we chant. We need to go back to him. We don't want to be here. But then at the same time, because we are devotees of Sri Krishna, we will do anything for him, even if he wants us to come back on this earth. So, devotional service allows us to see beyond the limitations of the body. Most or even all of our anxieties and sufferings are concerned with the mind and body, which are both conditioned and temporary. And to become sober, it means to see that the soul and its eternally blissful position as a part and parcel of Sri Krishna, eternally related to Krishna, is to be in a sweet relationship. And that is all the notes that I have for today. But who knows? Who knows what are the 9 types of devotional service? Feel free to raise your hand. Come on, you guys. You guys have to participate. Yes, Monika Mataji, please go ahead. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, that's good. Mm-hmm. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Does anybody have any others to add? Otherwise, I can bring a. Okay, I'll read that in a bit. I just want to say I'll bring up a photo that talks about what the 9 types of devotional service are. Okay, Rishabdev Das Prabhuji said, if we sincerely keep trying to serve Krishna through devotional service, we will be protected from Maya. That's right. Although this path is not easy and we may face many difficulties, we should never ever stop trying. I added ever. Krishna is very kind and reciprocates with our efforts. He notices even the smallest service done with sincerity and devotion. Therefore, constant and honest endeavor in bhakti is the key to receiving his mercy and guidance. This is what I want to say before. Thank you, Prabhuji, for sharing. That is actually very beautifully said. It's actually so true. We must never stop trying to reach him. He's there, he's watching, and he's very much reciprocating. Although he may reciprocate in the last moment because that's what he's known for. That's okay. We must keep on waiting for what that last moment is. We should not give up. Okay, I'll bring up that picture. You can see that. I'm hoping everyone can see that. So, the first one, as Minni Mataji explained, Shravana, that means to hear. Kirtana is to sing the glories of the Lord. Kirtana. Smarana is to think of him and pray to him. Padasevana, which is also serving the lotus feet. Archana is to worship. Vandana is to offer prayers. Dasya, that means that you see yourself as a servant of Sri Krishna, so you have that type of relationship with him. Sakhya is to become the Lord's friend and have that sort of relationship with Sri Krishna. And then the other one is surrendering everything. It means Atma Nivedana. So those are the 9 types of devotional service, and they're described in the Srimad Bhagavatam, as well as other books written by Srila Prabhupada, because that was his life's the purpose and goal is to spread the message of devotional service towards Sri Krishna to everyone. And yeah, we're done in half an hour, you guys. I don't talk as much as Chaitanya Prabhuji does. But I wish to be as knowledgeable and learned as him to be as one day. But I'm not there yet, so we'll have to wait for him to provide us with more nectar, because this is as much as I have. Thank you, everyone. Does anybody have any questions? Thank you. I would love to take any questions. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Priyanka Mataji. Alright. if anybody doesn't have any questions, then we will adjourn. We will we will stop this meeting for today, and then we will see you guys on Sunday. For those of you who are in Edmonton, we will have Friday night kirtan. I'll be sending a link in the group where we will be taking registrations. Obviously, this we won't be charging anything. This is just for us to ensure that we have enough supplies for our next Friday night kirtan. So please fill it out as best as you can, and yeah, I will hope to see you guys next on this Friday, and then also on Sunday morning. Chaitanya Prabhuji should be back, and he shall be teaching the I think text 2 continuation of the Nectar of Instruction. So look forward to see you then as well. Thank you. Vacha kalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Thank you. Hare Krishna, everyone. See you next time.